This video is about mailing lists. The mailing lists are basically where the recipients of your campaigns will be stored, where you can see their status, for example, active, unsubscribed, archived, or bounced, etc. And you can actually manage this list. You can create segments inside them. You can even delete lists if you do not want them anymore, etc., etc., etc. So let's go ahead to see what we can do in our mailing lists. So first, in order to access them, you need to click on the button saying mailing list up here. So when inside your mailing list, you will see all your active lists right here, and you can also see the opt-in type of its list on your right, as well as the people that it has inside, and when the list was created, as well as any changes, meaning the unsubscribed people or any changes that occurred to the list on the last day. So let's go, before we go inside the list, we can see what options we have right here. This is the settings of your list, which will take you inside the list. You can even go inside the list while clicking while clicking on the name of your list. It will take you to the exact same place. And also you have some options right here. So when you click on the three dots on the right, you see that you can actually copy the mailing list ID, which is the identity of your mailing list. You can delete your list, you can duplicate your list. Please note that when duplicating your list, it will actually duplicate the list and its settings, meaning any extra custom fields that you've created, any settings regarding your list, etc., etc., etc. It will not copy the people that are inside your list. If you want to copy your people, you need to click on this option saying copy to another list, and then this will actually copy all your people of your list to any other list of your choice. So if you wanted to duplicate that and its people, you would first duplicate the list as it is. So this created the copy of my original list, and you can see it up here. And then I would need to go again to the three dots and check the copy to another list. I would select the duplicate list and just click on proceed, wait for it to proceed, and then it will copy the people from here to this list right here. There you go. So it actually copied me here. So that's what this one does. Then you have the option to export your list to work on it offline, both on a CSV and an Excel file. It depends on your choice. And these are the options that you can do from here. So let's go ahead and go inside our list right here to see what we have. When we first go inside the list, we basically see the dashboard of the list. It will give us some information regarding our list. For example, how many active people we have on the list, how many unsubscribed we have, how many bounds we have, as well as archived. And then you can see some metrics regarding your list. So you can keep an eye on it and be on track regarding what's happening on your list. You can, of course, share this report if you like, or print it, so you can work on it offline. And also, per each individual report right here, you have two options. First, if you click on the bubble with the question mark, you see what each one of these shows for you. And then if you click on the three dots on its right, you can actually export the data on a CSV file that will be delivered to your email address, or download it as a PDF, depends on your choice. Then when you go inside the members section, actually before that, you can actually copy the mailing list ID from here as well, if you do not do it from the three dots on the right of your list right here. you can actually copy it from here if you prefer. Then you have these options. Let's start with the members. Members is basically a section where the people of your list are shown. You have three categories that you can see. You have all, which will have all people inside, including the unsubscribed one, as well as the active one, the bounced ones, and the archived ones. And then you have each specific category, each one of these four, to be shown specifically right here. So anyone that you click, for example, I have these two active at the moment. So any of the two that I will click, I will actually see the people that are inside this category, and I will also see a percentage of the people inside my list towards the total people. I will see a percentage of the people inside this category towards the total people inside my list. So I have 4 people in total. I have 3 unsubscribed, so I have 75% of my members to be unsubscribed. On the contrary, I have only one active, which actually means that it's 25% of the total people of my list that are still active on it. You can also see some info regarding these people. You could see the name if they have added their name, mobile number if any, also the source, meaning where they came, from where they came into your list. You will be able to see, for example, API integration if you're using an API call. You will be able to see batch import if you manually import these people on your list. You will even see tracked website that it shows right here. This means that these people came in from the tracking that I have set up on my site. And you can actually see the status of each one. You can see active, unsubscribed, unsubscribed, unsubscribed. If I had more statuses, for example, bounced or archived, I would even see those here. And then you can see the addition date per each recipient on your mailing list. This settings button will actually take you inside each specific one of these recipients in order to edit their settings. You can click on it and it will guide you here, and also you can even click on its email address and it will guide you to the same place. From here you have some options. For example, you can click on the 3 dots right here, which will give you these options, meaning copy member to another list. So you copy that to any other list of your choice. You can delete your person. You can trigger a specific automation for this specific person if you want to. Please note that in order to trigger an automation, the automation needs to first be active. Else you will get an error saying that you cannot do this event. You can add this person to your suppression list, and you can even see their activity regarding the campaigns that they've received and the actions that they did regarding these campaigns. Then you have the options of this person right here. You can edit their email address if you like. You can edit their name if you like. You can add or edit their phone number as well as the country prefix. And you can also change the status of this person between unsubscribed and archived. You cannot revert a bounced email address into active. Because when someone bounces, they bounce because the email could not be delivered to them, meaning there was an issue with that email address. So in order to protect your domain reputation, you should not do that. So you do not actually have this option to do it. It's actually grayed out. This option right here is checked if your list is a double opt-in list. You can actually check that, which will manually give them access to your list, meaning you will give the consent on their behalf in order for them to be on your list. And then of course you can update your member or go back to your mailing list. The last option is actually right here, the 3 dots again. So you have archive or delete this person, Archive means that this person will be inactive on your list and they will not get any other future campaigns that are sent to this list, as well as they will not count towards your total. Delete means that you can actually fully delete this person from your mailing list. Then you have again the option to copy this person to another list, any list of your choice. The view activity is what we explained before, so it will actually show you the campaigns sent to this person as well as the actions of this person regarding these campaigns. And then you again have the option to trigger an automation. Again, a note here, if you are to trigger an automation for a specific recipient, the automation needs to be active first, and then you can add him to the suppression list, which will of course make him inactive on any list that he is currently in your Moosend account, and will also exclude him from any future imports or API calls towards your Moosend account. As long as someone is on the suppression list, they will be inactive on all your lists, and they will be excluded from any future action that you do regarding this person. Then we have the option of batch actions. Here you have some mass actions that you can actually do for your people. Let's go over them one by one. First one is the import members to a list. If you click on that, you will see that you have some options right here. You can import via a CSV or TXT file, an Excel file. You can even paste text. You can paste up to 500 addresses at a time, while the Excel and CSV file allow you to import as many people as you like. Or you could connect your Google contacts, or if you have Salesforce, you can even import them from there. Please note that for CSV and also Excel files, you need to have your file in UTF-8 format. That's the only format that we accept. So UTF format is the way to go. And also your file needs to be tops 40 megabyte in terms of size. You can even see these two options right here. We have a disclaimer right below where you actually select your file. So in case you ever forget, you can also revert back to that and make sure that you are always on track of what you need your file to be and what you need your size to be. Then we have the option of archive list members. You have the exact same options regarding archive. Archive, as mentioned, makes your people inactive on your list, and if you choose to do so, inactive on any other list that they are in. So that means that they will actually be excluded from any future campaigns sent to these lists, as long as they are archived, of course, and they will not count toward your total. Then you have the unsubscribe members, which is pretty much the same as archived. You have again the same options right here. The difference between the two is mainly the name. When someone unsubscribes from your campaigns, they automatically get the status unsubscribed. While if you manually remove someone from your lists, you could use the archive option, so you could differentiate the two regarding how has this person been inactive on your list. Both archive and unsubscribe will actually make your person, the recipient that you've selected, inactive on your list, and they will also make them not count toward your total right here. Then you have the option of deleting some people. This will permanently delete these people from your list or your lists if you choose to do so. Please note that this option is not reversible, so use it wisely. If you delete someone from your list, you need to import them again if you want. You cannot revert back to them being on your mailing list. You can actually use the exact same options as before in order to delete someone, and then you have the option to copy your members from another list, which if you click on, you can actually select the mailing list that will copy your people into your current mailing list. So let's say that I had two lists and I wanted to populate the first one from the second. I would go here and I would select the second list, click on next, and this would actually bring in people from the second list towards my first list. Then we have, of course, the option where you can change the settings of your list. It's pretty self-explanatory right here. On this first option, you can actually set a custom redirection link when someone unsubscribes, in case you do not want them to be directed to our default landing page for unsubscribes. You can just copy the URL of your desired page and just paste it here, then click on save and you're good to go. And then you have the opt-in settings of your list. It is important to differentiate what each one of these three does. So the single opt-in means that anyone that submits a form or is sent to your list toward via an API call or tracked from your site will be added on your list. The second one is soft double opt-in, which means that a double opt-in email will be sent to these people, but they will be active on your list regardless if they click or not click the verification link that they will receive from the double opt-in link. And then the strong double opt-in option will actually not show anyone that has not given their consent to be on your list. So again, they will receive a double opt-in list and they will not be on your list till they actually click on that verification link that they've received. So when you click on any of these two options, you will see that some more options are shown down below. This one right here is where you can select the sender of your double opt-in email. You can set the subject of your email right here, and you can also create your double opt-in email right here. So you can add personalization tags if you like. For example, if you want to show the name of your recipients in the double opt-in email, you can do so from here. You can add their email address, etc., etc., etc. And when you are done with all your changes right here, you simply click on save and you are good to go. Then we have the option of custom fields. Custom fields are basically categories that you can have inside your list. You can create a new custom field right here where it says add new custom field. You set the name for it, and then you can choose between these options right here. This is the type of your custom field. Text is basically what it says, so it will have the name that you set for it. Let's say test. And then if it's text type, that means that it will be a box in which someone can write down their info. Or if you select a datetime type of custom field, it will actually give them the option to select a specific date that they want. This is mainly used for, let's say, birthday custom fields, so you get to know the date of the birthday of your recipients, for example. Number is just a simple number type custom field, so it will allow them to input any number that they like. Then you have single select drop down, in which you can set your desired options like so: test 1, test 2, test 3, etc. And you can even rearrange how they are shown as options. Please note that this one is single select, which means that the person will be able to choose any and only one of these three options. If you want to have more options, you could select the checkbox type, in which each option will be given a specific name. So let's say if I wanted to have three options, I would be doing this. Test 1 in type of checkbox, save the custom field, then add a new one, test 2 in type of checkbox, like so, save the custom field, and then test 3 in type of checkbox and save the custom field. So if I then, let's say, use this custom field, these custom fields in a form, for example, and they are all checkbox type, then my recipient would have the option to select any of the three, or all three, or any two of the three, etc., etc., etc. The last two options given in your custom fields are the required and hidden option. This one means that the custom field, if used on a form or an addition of a person to your list, will be a required field to be populated. And the hidden one means that it will not be shown if you send an update profile link to them, for example. It will only be used internally for you to see, basically. Then you have the option of the default fallback value in the text type custom field. The fallback value is basically the value that this custom field will use if it is empty. So let's say that you have a custom field for first name, and you have a person that hasn't given you their first name. You could have set a default fallback value, for example, friend. So if you send a campaign to them and use that custom field as a personalization tag, it would say hello friend instead of saying a simple hello and a blank right after that. The last option is the segments. Segments are basically portions of your lists that you can make in order to better arrange your list, or even send specific campaigns to specific portion of people. In order to do that, you go to create new, and then you click on create custom segment. You set the name of your segment here, let's say test segment, like so. And then you can add your criteria. You can choose if your rules will match all your criteria or any. This is an and or option regarding these options. And you can select the rules right here. For example, let's say that I want all people that their email address contains moosend.com. This will only give you the active people that meet your rules inside your list. So when I click on refresh recipients right here, as you can see, it gives me one person, the only active person on my list. I can preview this person by clicking the preview recipients option. And here is the email address, in which case I can save and export to Excel or CSV, or simply save. Or I could save this segment as a template for future use, or export it to CSV or Excel. I will go back for now. You have the exact same options right here. You can even add more rules. So let's say that I want any person that their email address contains moosend.com, and the member name contains, let's say, or is not empty, let's put it like that, is not empty. So this one again will give me one person, one active person on my list, and it gave me one person because the name is not empty. It has the value Nicolas Test inside, and then the email address contains moosend.com inside it. But if I went and used, let's say, is empty right here, and I refresh, then it gives me 0 people, because Nicolas at moosend.com has a value in the name custom field, and the value is Nicolas Test. Now here you can see the difference between all and any. All will actually count all the rules that I have added right here, and then if that active person meets all of these rules altogether, then they will actually be included in my segment, or if not, they will not be included. Now if I go and change this option to any and then refresh, As you can see, it gives me one person again because that person meets one of my rules, which is this one. Member email contains moosend.com. And then this option right here changed to or, as you can see. It was and before, and now it changed to or. So this one right now means that if that active person on my list meets any of my rules that I have added, then they will be included in my segment. Then you can, of course, make more options regarding your segments. So let's say that I have it set to all, which means that I have an end condition right here, and I want to have two options right here. I could just type in any other any other value that I want right here. For example, let's say that I want all people that their email address contains moosend.com or gmail.com and their member name is empty. In this case, it will give me no one, and if I change this one to not empty, it will give me the exact same person as it showed before because he meets my criteria. So his email address actually ends and also contains moosend.com, and his name custom field is not empty. So if I just save my segment now, you will actually be able to read it, and it says this is the name of your segment, and it says that it has two rules. Member email contains moosend.com or gmail.com, which is the use case that we've created on our first rule, and member name is not empty. So here is basically that as well. So that's how segments are created, and of course you can add more and more criteria in order to make better segmentation regarding your lists and be able to better address your list or more efficiently address your list, or create specific portions of your people that meet specific criteria. For example, people that have bought a specific product, if you have set up tracking on your site, and pretty much the sky is the limit on this one. You can let your imagination roam free and create the segment that you prefer, of course.